again. I would recommend going to Laughlin anytime. Much better. Much more convenient to come to than Las Vegas. Las Vegas really sucks nowadays. Las Vegas is not what it used to be. Very sad. On the other hand, Laughlin's just starting to get built up. I haven't been here for 35 years. And it's changed quite a bit. Very nice. Hope it just stays like this. Clean. It's not dirty. Like I said, a nice little enjoyable ride. Got a few casinos on here. One casino the same as the next. If you win, you're gonna win. If you lose, you're gonna lose. And they got more. There's the Pioneer. On the other side of the Pioneer, you got Tropicana. And there's a couple other small little casinos on the other side of this side. Here's the Colorado Bell, the Aquarium. Then they got the Riverside down there. Taxi. I don't know how that works, but I'm gonna just take it from casino to casino. $5. Not a bad gig. Like I said, there's the Pioneer, the Golden Nugget. Tropicana's way on the other side, you can barely see it. The yellow in the back of this old building right here. Well, it's not actually old, it's pretty new. But it's that building right there, there it is. And the Colorado Bell. Just be quiet, you people can see what I'm saying. Very, very nice. I'd recommend this to anybody. Not a lot of money either. Well worth the money.
it's just a girl's trip. Oh, just a girl's trip. No.
On our left, behind the Colorado Bell, is the Newberry Mountain Range. The highest peak there is 5,639 feet above sea level. The Mojave Indians worship that mountain, believing it is where your spirit begins and where your spirit returns, giving it the name of Spirit Mountain.
Yeah, they're about $30 over there.
The Mojave and Milltown Railway was a private railroad built in the 1900s to serve a gold mine near Laughlin, Arizona. The railway started on the Arizona side of the Colorado River, across the state lines from Needles, California. The railway is said to have gone northeast, and it served several mines near Oatman. The railway hauled ore from the mines near Oatman to the mill at Milltown. The railway was operated for only 1 year when several washouts damaged several miles of the railway, which led to its abandonment. Oatman is located over on Old Route 66, 20 miles from Bullhead City. In 1939, Clark Gable and Carol Lombard eloped from Kingman, Arizona. They spent their honeymoon at the Oatman Hotel in Oatman, Arizona. The owners have still kept that room about how it looked back then. They have wild burros that roam the streets, coming into town looking for a free handout. They have all kinds of shops in Oatman: antiques, jewelry, gold, Native American arts and crafts, and Route 66 memorabilia. Take Highway 95 south about 12 to 13 miles south of Bullhead City. It will bring you to the turnoff for Oatman, Arizona and Old Route 66. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the rest of the story. In 1983, Circus came to Laughlin. They were the first large corporation to move into this area. They bought the Edgewater and a small casino called the Colorado Bell. It originally opened in 1980 next to the Regency, about where the Edgewater Tower is located today. They bought up all the property south of the Edgewater except for one small piece of land. A little lady by the name Old Mrs. Lafferty owned a little trailer just south of the Edgewater, where you see those trees up there in the corner on this end. They offered Mrs. Lafferty $250,000 for her trailer and her piece of land, but she refused. They offered her $500,000, and she refused. They offered her $1 million tax-free. That got her to raise an eyebrow, but they couldn't talk her into selling. She told them she was happy right where she was and didn't have anywhere else to go. So they went ahead and tore down the old Colorado Bell and started construction around her. They gave her just enough room to drive her car down to get to her trailer. The opening between the Edgewater and the Colorado Bell was Mrs. Lafferty's easement, but they didn't let Mrs. Lafferty have quite that much room when she was using it. Finally, they went to Mrs. Lafferty and offered her $2.5 million tax-free and a suite in the Edgewater with full services. Now, this included a wet bar and a limousine service for the rest of her life. But that wasn't all. They built her a dock down by the river so she could come down and go fishing anytime she wanted. When they built that 26-story tower, they built Mrs. Lafferty a 10-room suite up at the very top. If you look at the top of that tower on this side, you can see a balcony they built for her so she could come outside and get some fresh air and watch the morning sunrise. They completed this tower on February of 1991. There are some that believe this is where the story should end. But unfortunately, however, 1 week before Mrs. Lafferty was to move into her new penthouse, she passed away. She was on her way back from a European tour when she had a stroke. But she had been around the world twice at the expense of Circus. They named a street after her in front of the Edgewater, and they called it Lafferty Lane. Her suite went back to the Edgewater. Mrs. Lafferty's inheritance money went to her children. She had 2 girls and a boy. Mrs. Lafferty's story will always live on because every tour boat out here on this river tells this story every day about the lady that stuck it out to the very end. And now you know the rest of the story. During the winter months, there's another group that comes into town called the Snowbirds. They come down to spend the winter months where they don't have to shovel snow all winter long, since our average wintertime temperature is between 50 and 60 degrees. We're at 510 feet elevation above sea level, and you have to climb over 3,000 feet in either direction to get out of this valley. Whether it be the Black Mountains in Arizona to our right, or the Newberry Mountain Range in Nevada to our left, we do get to see snow once in a while on these mountains in the winter months, but it usually never lasts very long. In fact, quite often, if you don't get up early enough in the morning, you might not get to see it at all. We have an average rainfall here of about 5 inches per year, give or take an inch or two, or 3. Arizona does not believe in daylight savings time. They stay on standard time year-round. During the summer months, California, Nevada, and Arizona are all on the same time. During the winter months, however, Arizona is 1 hour ahead. That is why you see on posters and billboards Nevada time or Arizona time. The Colorado River is the borderline for Arizona, from Lake Mead all the way down to the Mexican border. It is also the boundary line for the time zone between Mountain and Pacific. If you look over the top of the Riverside parking lot, you'll get a little bit better view of the Newberry Mountain Range and Spirit Mountain. To get up to Grapevine Canyon, take Highway 163 toward Las Vegas. Before you get to the top of the mountain, you'll come to a turn that reads Christmas Tree Pass. Take that over to another turn, and it'll take you to Grapevine Canyon. Please, remember that this land is sacred to the Mojave. So if you decide to go up to the canyon and take a look at the petroglyphs, please see it as it is and leave it as it was. Don Laughlin's name was bestowed on Laughlin, Nevada in 1968. That's when Don decided to set up a post office at the Riverside. He wanted to call it Casino, Nevada, but the inspector wouldn't let him do that. Don then wanted to call it Riverside, Nevada, but the inspector told him there were too many Riversides. Besides, there already was, and still is, a Riverside, Nevada, located on the Virgin River up by Mesquite. The inspector suggested he call it Laughlin. Don asked him why, and the inspector told him that he thought it was a good Irish name. That inspector's name just happened to be O'Neill. In 1976, the small town, South Point, Nevada, population of 82, all got together and decided to change their name to Laughlin, Nevada, which became Laughlin Residential Area. Today, Laughlin's population is approximately 9,000, while Bullhead City and its unincorporated area boast a population of about 42,000 permanent residents. Multi-million-dollar Laughlin housing developments have rushed into construction to keep pace with the business boom. Since the beginning, the Riverside Resort and the Laughlin family have demonstrated their hospitality and generosity to many Colorado River communities close to Laughlin. The once small town by the river now attracts millions of visitors annually who visit Laughlin to gamble, enjoy water sports on the Colorado, and attend many top-name entertainers and high-profile special events hosted by the destination. A once barren desert terrain has become a modern boomtown, ignited by the imagination of one man from the small town of Owatonna, Minnesota. Despite his success, Don still maintains a personal connection to his customers and can often be seen talking to guests around the resort. This 1991 Gaming Hall of Fame inductee has made it clear in many ways that Laughlin, Nevada is his home. Much has changed since 1966. That once bankrupt motel here in the tri-state has evolved into a resort and casino of epic proportions. Don Laughlin's Riverside Resort Hotel and Casino. Today, the Riverside's workforce numbers almost 2,000 employees with an annual payroll of over $40 million. On behalf of Don Laughlin and his family, the USS Riverside crew, and myself, we would like to thank everyone for taking our tour and hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We'd like to wish everyone the very best of luck, because luck has a lot to do with things around here. Enjoy your stay in Laughlin and come back and see us again soon. Please remain on board until we have all lines across. And thank you for joining us.